All right, what is up, people of the internet? Welcome to me talking about life and talking about what's been going on lately, and really more so my journey with health and fitness and where I am at currently and where I am hoping to go and and how I'm hoping this video can hopefully help others also achieve results. And by no means am I a fitness expert. By no means am I a health professional. So a disclaimer before really getting into it. I just wanted to put that out there. Cool. So for those who have been watching on YouTube, which that's where this is posted, and who's seen my unboxing video of the Nitro nutrition packaging, I ended up getting the Nitro nutrition, I believe, ended up getting the plus packaging, because I'm pretty sure I settled on the middle of the road bundle for the Nitro nutrition. And yeah, it was pretty cool. It came with, I believe, a box or 2 boxes of HL5, which is collagen protein, and then it came also with a box or 2 boxes of Sunrise, and then I think a couple bottles of Sunset, and 2 bags of protein, pretty sure. So yeah, and it was a plant-based protein, so it was within the vegan challenge I was doing at the time. So yeah, for those who don't know, I started more so being trying to get my health right back in 2020. It was a little bit before the pandemic started, I wanted to say. It was like January 2020 I started to do some research, and I mean, overall I had been looking at mainly calories and eating in a caloric fashion. I was eating way too many calories. I mean, I was eating enough calories for where my body was at the time. But I think my body's resting metabolic rate was not actually that high. So I was putting strain on my body consuming those many calories. But yeah, so always kind of stayed around the calorie mark, and I think going into 2020 I started to take supplements, because I figured I'm getting older and degeneration can be something that happens in life and is more likely to happen as, one deals with more of the world, I suppose. And so yeah, started taking supplements, felt pretty good. Was able to go about and do things a little bit more easily. I think it gave me enough of a push to where I was like, I think I can exercise. And mind you, I've always danced and I've always remained some sort of active. I would walk, or I would, go play basketball, or, dance. But for the most part, like, the level of the fitness that I was engaging in was not nearly as much as it grew to be. And for me, it was something where when I was going through 2020 and just dealing with challenges, dealing with, just dealing with everything that was going on, and trying to, like, kind of, just really focus on moving forward as much as possible. It was something that really helped. And I think that was even amidst when I was eating out a bit more, because, I think I was wanting more comfort food, because of my mom's passing. So I figured, or not I figured, but it ended up being something that kept me, like, pretty alright going through the pandemic, and having that diet. And I mean, for the most part, I always tried to balance having a certain amount of protein with carbs, but after actually engaging in the Nitro nutrition program and doing that, it's something where it's like, after just experiencing overall results, I'm like, this is not something where I was as I guess equipped as I would be, or as I could have been, I guess, with how I was eating. Because I think for me, I've always had it where I really had a sweet tooth, and I've done, like, fasts before, whether that's, like, for a few days, or, like, I think I've done, like, a week before, or intermittent fasting, which is kind of what I'm on now anyway, to some degree. But just really stemming off of that, it really showed me, like, how many carbs I had taken in, and I mean, I'm still not following the program, like, 100% perfectly, but I think overall how it's structured, I definitely feel much better, and like, my body doesn't feel like it's going, like, through the roof and then also through the floor. It's definitely much more equal, which is great. I enjoy it a whole bunch. I think it helped also that when I was going through the program and taking the supplements, which I think were, like, huge. I think they were what really gave me the boost to push past and get through the challenges that I was facing, in terms of bodily recovery. The cat was meowing, or one of the cats. But yeah, and I think they really helped in terms of muscle recovery, and ironically, I actually didn't really, because I've had issues with my back, and it's been resolving, but I think that's been more of a mental challenge as opposed to a physical one. And I think that's more so related to injuries that I've gotten, and I'm working through that separately. But yeah, well, I mean, simultaneously. So just going from there, the supplements definitely helped a lot. I think the reset was really tough because it was like, not only was I doing the vegan challenge at the same time, but you know, it was where my body was like, hey, and all the like cravings and everything started kicking in, and it was like, you want this? I'm like, no. But thankfully, I think drinking enough water actually ended up helping balancing that back out. So that was cool. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and then moving into the accelerate, I actually ended up accidentally doing the reset for about 21 days. And then I did I did for like 30 days or something like that. And then I moved into the accelerate, which I did that for about 30 days, I want to say. I went long. I could actually check, but yeah. And I mean, I've continued it. I've just kept going on the accelerate part of things, and I've basically, so last year, to give an idea, because I did put on some weight for sure. I'm not going to say like the supplements are, you know, a cure-all. They're not, but they help. They help for sure. But yeah, so I end up weighing about 230 pounds, which, you know, isn't really too far out of the range of healthy, quote unquote. I think 220 is the high end, at least according to the Fit Index app, which I'm sure is backed by some decent science, I would presume, but take it with a grain of salt. But I was 230 pounds, and I think I was about 16 to 20% body fat, and I ended up dropping, actually, yeah, I think it was like 16%, and I actually ended up dropping from 16% down to 10%, and I dropped from 230 down to 180. So I pretty much lost like a fifth of, well, a little bit more than a fifth of my weight. That's like a fourth. Yeah, a fourth just about of my weight. And yeah, I think it's helped with my joints, like my knees not screaming at me as much. You know, I think my body's still adjusting to some things, but also, mind you, like last year I pretty much took it to just completely revamp how I take care of myself and how I feed my body. You know, I think I've encountered and I've witnessed too much of suffering in terms of people's bodies just not being best, especially in my own family. Like my dad has knee issues, my brother has had knee issues, my mom's had back issues, which, I mean, part of that was from an accident, I believe, but I think to some extent she also just had issues with her back that were more chronic, because my grandma has had both her hips replaced, if I remember correctly, or at least one. So yeah, I'm like, you know, I'm either gonna care for y'all or I'm gonna make sure that never happens to me. And I think the position that I'm at, it's ended up being where I'm taking care of me so I can better be there for other people. You know, showing up, attending events, or attending hangouts, whatever, and spending quality time with people while here in the world. So yeah. But to just stem off of that, the whole deal with back when I first started the supplements was I was still eating, just a lot of food that was delicious. Like, don't get me wrong, the food was delicious. But it was a lot, it was a lot of food that wasn't necessarily the best to be eating all the time, and with that, definitely put on some pandemic weight and also some grieving weight for sure. So I think it's been great. I think it's been great to be able to get my health back in check and just be, just feel like I'm cool. Like I'm 28, I think for a while there I was feeling like I was a year older than I actually was. But yeah, and honestly, I think this is the most consistent weight that I've been and the most consistent energy level that I've had. So it's been huge. Like, it's, I think a lot of the times we can get caught up in having, oh yes, the virile energy of youth. And it's like, I'd be cool with just getting around with like no aches, or very limited aches, and limited pain, like, and be around people. It's, it seems like a no-brainer. But yeah, I think ultimately my goal personally is going to be going to 200 pounds and maintaining 10% body fat, potentially going under 10%. But this is kind of where I bottomed out. Every time I weighed myself, I'm like 176, 178, 180. I don't think I've dipped down to 174. So yeah, those are definitely, or that's definitely the goal. 200 pounds, 10% body fat. Just because I want to have like a little bit more beefiness. I think being tall, I always am slender, which isn't, cool, because that's the standard of beauty people still kind of attain to some extent, but also because it's like I've always aesthetically looked this way. I guess to some extent it feels like I'm not maturing in my physicality, so I want to be able to have that, just some aesthetical apparentness of all the work that I've been putting in, and yeah, so that's pretty much it. I just wanted to hop on here, put a little video together, and if you all are interested, I will link below the program page where you can check out all of the options. Well, there'll be like a little brief synopsis, and this is also developed by, or co-developed by, the celebrity nutritionist Mark McDonald, who he did the, I believe, Your Best Body Now or something like that, or Love. Let me check this out real quick. One sec. Okay, so the book is called Body Confidence. But yeah, it seems like it's a very positive, overall, I think the energy I've gotten is just start where you're at, who cares where you can be, and let's be grateful, content, full, like, and mindful, I guess, of where we're at physically, and then just do at least 1% better each day, you know, whatever that may be. Like if you did a walk and, you know, you only did 20 minutes, great. Do a walk tomorrow, that's 20 minutes and like 20 seconds. It's progress, right? And I think that's really aligned with me and my mantra of sorts, where I've been just telling myself in like all categories, just consistent progress over perfection, because none of us have ever been or will ever be perfect in this world. I'm sure of that for sure. But yeah, I'll link the program below. There's a clip of Mark McDonald talking about the program itself, and then I believe there's also links to the actual product. And if you feel like messaging me, if you have any questions, feel free to click on that link tree. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the link tree, there is a Twitter, there is an Instagram. I had to think about it. So there's a Twitter, and then there's an Instagram link. You can click either two of those, and you can DM me on there. I don't think my Twitter is private, and my Instagrams definitely are not private. So feel free to check those out. And yeah, reach out to me if you have any questions. And and I look forward to, you know, hopefully helping guide some of y'all along in the fitness journey, and, you know, looking to feel better, to be better for other people. Yeah. All right. Peace.